Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the summit. On the 4th of July, Rwanda will be marking 31 years of liberation and 31 years since the Rwanda Patriotic Army bravely brought an end to the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Now, this momentous day, Kwibohora 31, is a time for deep reflection as well as a powerful celebration. It is also a moment to honor how far we have come as a nation, built in unity, resilience, and last but not least, self-reliance. Now, tonight we're going to be focusing not only on remembrance, but on the extraordinary progress that Rwanda has made since then. In our different sectors, digital economy, as well as women empowerment is what we're going to be focusing on tonight's episode. We are going to be focusing on how our country has given opportunity to young entrepreneurs, innovators, as well as change makers who are shaping a new legacy. One hope, dignity, and a forward momentum. Now, to help us explore this journey of transformation, we are joined by two incredible individuals. We'll start with you, Blandine Omugwaneza. She is the CEO and founder of Cosmotive, which is a company that is helping vulnerable women and girls have access to affordable, reusable sanitary products while also promoting reproductive health and dignity in the community. And thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, we also have, last but not least, Mr. Olivier Mugaboneka, who is the CEO of Ad Finance, a pan-African company providing cutting-edge financial technology solutions to over 100 institutions in 8 countries, championing financial inclusion and digital transformation, starting right here in Rwanda. Thank you so much for joining us, Olivier.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. So we are going to be diving straight into the conversation. First of all, like I said in the beginning of the conversation, we're celebrating Kwibohora 31 years of liberation, 31 years since the country has risen from the ashes, 31 years since RPA liberated this country and stopped the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. I'll start with a brief question with you, Blandine. What does Kwibohora 31 mean to you?
Kwibohora 31 first liberation to me is just having a choice and that freedom to dream, to lead, but also to breathe something meaningful. And for everyone, it's just like not doing it for yourself, but also helping others to do the same.
Thank you very much. And to you, Olivier, what does Kwibohora 31 mean to you?
It means, first of all, the power of resilience. It means that even after such horrible things that, like the genocide we saw here in our country, everything is possible. From building a company, to building families, to building companies in general. So it gives us hope to think big, to think that everything is possible since we saw the wars.
Thank you very much. Now, this country has seen a lot of growth and transformation in all sectors in terms of digital transformation, financial inclusion, women empowerment, the health sector, education sector. So there's a lot to uncover, but today we're going to be focusing on women empowerment as well as digital transformation in the financial world, so on and so forth. So I'll start with you, Blandine. Can you give us a little bit more information about Cosmotive?
Cosmotive is a social enterprise that I started in 2014. And starting this, it was to just like give to the women the information they need. That was 2014, looking at what I had from school, from the network I had, but also my passion to improve health. But 2017, I had another moment of obligation when I realized that we had 18% of the girls and women who miss school or work because of something basic as menstrual products. So breeding Cosmotive has become that desire to cross the gap, to break that cycle, and allow every girl to dream, every girl to manage their period with dignity and with no shame.
Yeah, and You just spoke about when that idea came to mind, and Cosmotive speaks directly to the heart of the community, especially to tackle that problem of reducing the percentage of women who miss school or work or even other activities due to their menstrual cycle. What exactly inspired you to tackle this niche specifically in terms of women's health, productive rights, as well as care?
Like the first thing was about like that number, thinking about someone who missed 5 days every month, looking at like how someone wants the same result from someone who didn't attend the school or work 60 days a year. So it was mainly to be able to give as I grow. If we are celebrating Kwibohora, it's more of like, if I'm rising, I don't rise alone, I rise with others, but we can go together if someone is missing as I go. So it was mainly about just giving that. And for me, what I could do is just, the people I was looking at was, their barrier was on financial, and what I did is bringing a product that is cost effective, making reusable sanitary pads that they can use for 2 years. And with that is for helping everyone, whether it's cutting the costs, whether it's the girls and women that we work with in production and distribution, having something then locally to empower them, but also to improve on the health of the girls who use the product, and also having everyone learn about their reproductive health, because we can see that dignity or equal Rwanda, apart from even equal world, if they are the ones who are left behind.
Yes, thank you for that. Moving over to you, Olivier, can you give us more information about Ad Finance, where the idea came from, and what Ad Finance is all about?
Well, Ad Finance is a Pan-African technology company. We started operations in Rwanda 18 years ago, in 2006. The idea came from my past experience. As in early 2000s, as a young graduate, I worked in one of the biggest microfinance network, the BPR by that time. And I saw how it was hard for workers, for professionals working in that industry, but also for beneficiaries, like the people who get financial services from the microfinance institutions, how working manually was so hard for them. To give an example, I remember that the average hour at which we would close business was around 10 p.m. Some colleagues were going to their homes at 1 a.m. and were obliged to be back to office the next day at 8 in the morning. So when I had the opportunity to shift from management to information technology, and I had this knowledge of how IT can transform the way people work, and then I had this idea when I came back in Rwanda to start this business in 2006. So we started by providing software solutions to microfinance industry, starting from Rwanda, expanding to become the leader on the market, in the Rwandan market, but also expanding out of Rwanda. And now we are present in 8 countries across Africa.
Yes, thank you for that background information at Finance. And it was born here in Rwanda, but now you have expanded and you are serving 8 other countries on the African continent. What does this expansion say about the potential and innovation spirit within Rwanda's tech and finance sectors, especially speaking on the growth over the past 31 years, since your company even started way back early in 2006?
So for me, it means a lot. It means that Rwanda has the capacity not only to create solutions for Rwandans, but also to create solutions for other African brothers and sisters. This is possible thanks to many different things, but what you see, the spirit of this country, the kind of environment we have here, that allows us to dream big, to have bold ideas. So that mindset is the first asset I think we have. Now from there, what we were able to achieve is just a beginning. It's not that a big deal as of now. Better things are to happen, as maybe we'll come to it in later as we talk. But it means mostly that it's possible to be champions on our continent and probably even beyond in some sectors. But in terms of technology, in terms of financial inclusion, every numbers speak by themselves. In Rwanda, we achieved now 96% of financial inclusion. So that means adult population, 96 of them can access financial services. The average in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, is slightly below 50%. So we're like double, we are doing 2 times better than the average in sub-Saharan Africa. So that means we have solutions that can empower the whole Africa. But this is possible thanks to a number of things, a number of, this mindset, the resilience mindset, have bold ideas, but also most importantly, the capacity to turn those ideas into actionable assets. For instance, you cannot imagine to build solutions, digital solutions, if you don't have the right infrastructure. I'm talking about optic fiber, data centers, even human capital, human assets. We need to have like a big number of skilled workforce who can lead that transformation. So I think it's a combination of those 2-3 things that sets Rwanda apart in terms of capacity and possibility to export to other African countries.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, especially where you spoke about having the resilience mindset and using the services and infrastructure that has been given unto us to be able to bring our ideas into fruition. So that's very important. Back to you, Blandine. How do you see the resilience of Rwandan women reflected in the way they receive and engage with your products and programs? You started this in 2014. Maybe the idea was put more into practical terms in 2017. But even the idea of using reusable sanitary products to be able to bridge that gap and to tackle that percentage that was really an issue, especially in women health and reproductive health. Did you see that how was that journey towards bringing that idea to them?
I think first, like bringing something new, they can be resistance, but also first, the resilience of Rwandan women, I would start by even facing the hardship financially when every month they need something to use. They use what they have. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not safe or proper to use, but it turns when we meet them and we have to give them first knowing if they even know about their cycles, if they know anything about their body changing, and bringing a product. Them it's first thing, just first time I see something proper to use for my menstrual hygiene, but I see it I see the resilience through the collective strength that we get when they are willing to learn, to pass on the information in the community. It's not about them getting the information about actually I got a new product and just keeping to themselves. Them passing on the information and pushing boundaries together for everyone to see if they can have communities rising together, but also all of us as women keep pushing to break all those chains, or just to create that system that enables every girl, every woman to first have that access to information about their health, their body, but also about something to use to keep, to stay in school or to do everything they want to attend without having any barrier.
Yes, speaking of access to information, especially in the rural areas where you find that these women or young girls are not fortunate enough to understand their cycle or still haven't really gotten to comprehend how it works. How is that journey towards teaching them about this? Because your company is not only about providing these sanitary products, but also spreading information and awareness and teaching them. How is that journey towards helping them understand their cycle?
Like the journey is really like first being passionate first is the first thing, and also being able to understand that someone can't really know this. But in the beginning, some of them don't even know about the cycle. You know, when you translate from Kinyarwanda to English, it will be called like a month. So it's kind of, they get mistaken about if I got my first period on like 5th of June, my second will be 5th of July. They just count it as a month.
Yeah.
So like the first thing about them knowing that the cycle, your cycle can be different from my cycle, knowing that there is something that comes before that, let's say before period, and also like breaking all those misinformation about, you know, the first time they get their period, they get information from whoever they ask. Who do they trust? First, like knowing, like, do they trust the teacher? Do they trust the parents? Do they trust the neighbor? Who do they trust to get the information? Because if the community that doesn't have the right information, everyone pick what they get. So some of them will be like, if I get my period, if I sit with a boy, I get pregnant. So some of them are like that. So having that first conversation about this is normal, because in so many communities it's stigmatized. Knowing that, normalizing that conversation, period is normal. And if this is happening, this is what you do. And also creating that safe community about having the right people to ask. If you get your period, seek information from this person. Is it from school? Is it from the health center? Is it from a parent? At least have the people who understand, and equip them with the proper product. But if they have a product without knowing my cycle is changing or my period is coming today, it's the same thing that happened. And because we can't control, let's say, the boys, as we equip girls about having the information, we also inform them or let them have that strength together about, if anyone bullies you, this is how you stand tall in front of them, because we can't control the other person, but at least they can control themselves and know how to to celebrate that womanhood. If they get period, they don't feel like it's shame.
Yeah, that's very important, because over the years we have seen growth in terms of women, especially in the rural areas, understanding that having a menstrual cycle is part of being a woman, and not to be shamed for it, but also to understand it and celebrate it. So I'm glad Cosmotive is contributing to that. Back to you, Olivier. Since the inception of your company, integrating into the society, your company has been able to support over 100 microfinance institutions. How is that driving financial inclusion? Like you mentioned, of course, throughout the years, there has been inclusion in terms of the finance sector, including more women so that they can understand, especially for rural communities and small businesses.
Well, the financial inclusion means mainly to do not leave anyone behind. It means even people who live in rural area, the very people who are on the bottom of the revenue pyramid, can also enjoy financial services, just like people in urban area can enjoy the same. So this is what we do at ED Finance. What we have been doing, it was always try to push the last mile to make sure that people at very in remote area can also access financial services at affordable cost. That's very key. One thing is to provide financial services. Another thing is the cost of that financial services. Because, to give you an example, if you want to enjoy a mobile banking application from a commercial bank, if you live in an urban area and you are charged 3,000 Rwandan francs per month, it's not a big deal. Probably you won't even notice it on your bank account. But for someone who earns less than $2 a month, like do most of the people in your area, charging them $2 or almost $3 just to do account maintenance fee, it cannot work. You need to find a solution that will allow them to enjoy the financial services, the basic ones like savings, payments, access to finance, to loans, all those things at a very affordable cost. An example I can share with you is what we did for tea growers circles. We work with a number of them in rural, up country. So they used to go and spend a whole day at the branch of their circle, waiting for getting paid. They will queue for hours and hours. So literally one day lost. And probably another day lost to apply for an urgent loan. And another day to do a follow-up and so on. What we did, for instance, today for them, they now are able, while working in the field, they get notified, they get a text message on their mobile phone when their pay, the monthly pay is made. They have their pay, their salary is on the account, and they can use it digitally. That means they can pay the school fees, they can pay taxes, they can pay for goods, all those without getting to their, going to the branch. And even more, they can now apply for loans, and thanks to the system we built, we can assess their credit worthiness and automatically disburse the loan if they are eligible. All that done automatically, and funds are disbursed in less than 2 minutes. So this is how we contribute, how we try to push the last mile of them and to make sure that people in very remote area can also enjoy technology. On SMEs as well, small and medium enterprises, they also need to have tools, to have the technology to manage their businesses, from manufacturing companies to hotels to retail shops. Everyone in his business needs technology nowadays to grow, to be efficient in their business, in the way they do their business.
Yeah.
So we have also another line of products for SMEs, and it is the fastest growing now, where we are trying to equip, or targeting to equip about 1,000 businesses in the next 5 years.
Do you think, you spoke about technology being included in everything that we're doing in today's world. We've seen a lot of technological advancements. Now, are these financial companies, especially maybe in the rural areas, getting accustomed to the fact that they need technology to thrive, and that's where the world is? The world is evolving in terms of digital transformation. Are they becoming more accustomed to this digital transformation and embracing the technological advancements?
I'd say yes and no. I read the book lastly, and there's a recurring theme which would come, which was saying that things can be bad and better. So in terms of digital literacy, things are still bad, but much better than what used to be in last years.
Yeah.
So in the first, 15, 18 years ago, our main job was mainly to teach, to find a way to convince people that they can use the technology in their business, in the way they manage the financial institutions, and let alone other businesses. It was not obvious, it was not an easy task, and our biggest competitor by then was ignorance, a lack of trust in technology. By now, thanks to the efforts that among other things, the government did a lot of efforts in promoting digital literacy, in putting in place the right infrastructure to make technology accessible. Now things changed. Now more and more people, individuals, businesses, they now understand, they know that they need technology in their businesses. Now the biggest challenge we're facing now is to have the capacity in terms of decision makers to know now which technology do they need, what is essential versus what is just nice to have. To do the right threshold between cost and quality. To make difference between a stable and good system and another one which is not. So a lot of mistakes are sometimes made. Is people ending up overspending on things that can be done easily and locally, or in other circumstances, you will find technology failing just because they are using the wrong solutions, which is tailor-made to their needs. So there are still some challenges, but globally, I think in Rwanda we have one of the most tech-savvy populations across Africa. Even in globally, when you see, I have an example. I used to live in Europe, and when I had a traffic offense, when I have a fine, I was notified between 3 weeks and 4 weeks after the infraction, I mean the offense. And it was very hard to know if 27 days ago I was in the place where the letter says I was.
Yeah.
And now in Rwanda, you know what happens.
Few minutes later.
A few minutes later, by the time you arrive where you went, you have your...
You receive your fine ticket.
You receive your Sophia's letter, as we say, your Sophia's message. So this is how I say things can be bad and better. I mean, there's still some challenges, but globally, we have a population which embraces technology, which also is the foundation from which can build to boost our exports. Because a number of solutions can be used and tested before we can export to the rest of Africa.
Yes, 100%. That's the most important aspect of it, making sure that we're progressing day in, day out, even though things may not look as we would hope, but we are seeing a change, we're seeing an evolution, and as long as there is the will to want that progression, things will be good. So thank you for that. Back to you, Blandine. We have seen, as we continue to celebrate Kwibohora 31, women, especially in this country, have come a long way in terms of being given equal access to opportunities, being in positions where they can be able to open up businesses, businesses that make a difference, being given opportunities to be in positions where they can make decisions and decisions that are very impactful. And Cosmotive is both a health, innovation, and social enterprise. In what ways do you think your work, especially with your company, contributes to Rwanda's wider development goals, especially in public health and gender equity, in terms of bridging that gap that we have seen get smaller and smaller with the years that have passed?
Yeah, I think like the first thing is that we contribute to Rwanda's vision to inclusive development. And by that, when we give menstrual products and reproductive health education, we are reducing the number of girls who miss school when they are menstruating. But we are also improving all these public health outcomes that are needed. And on the side of creating jobs, locally producing products locally and distributing, we are creating jobs. And with that, I love to believe that all the girls and women, we work together Sometimes they have even faced the same challenges that we are solving. So they come to see their period as a source of pride and power. They stop looking at period as something shameful. And apart from that, we also contribute to bringing a green product, which Rwanda is also into, like green businesses. And coming to gender equity, like everything Cosmotive stands for is about that. By including these, like the girls, in everything they should attend without missing, but also giving that dignity as they have, like what to use, not having any bullies when they're menstruating, and everything that we can do has to contribute to, like, to that gender equity, but also a dignified health for the girl, mainly the one who feel vulnerable, because we can enjoy, like in Kigali, we can just enjoy the access. I think, as Olivier said, trying to look at, like, there's something you can bring when someone is in Kigali, when someone earns enough, they will feel okay, but until you meet someone who really struggles, being able to have it for both of us and have that equal world, like to everyone. So for us, I think, like, everything we do stands both on the side of like the development, whether it's economic, but also for the information, the product is for the gender equity.
Yes, and speaking of gender roles and the stereotypes that come with it, we have seen an evolution. The way it was 31 years is not how it is right now. And the government of Rwanda has really done so much and put in a lot of effort to help women understand that they can do so much more than what they were taught to only be doing years back. In the lessons that Cosmotive teaches, especially as you travel across the country to be able to provide awareness, is there proper understanding, or are these women understanding that the roles that they were subjected to 31 years ago is not what it is right now? Are they understanding that?
I think there is always power in having the image there. If I have Martina here, I will know that I can dream to be on TV. Like all the role models we've had 31 years ago has been like showing every girl there that they can do that. When we go there, because I'm still, like, I come from a rural area. I wasn't born here. I didn't grow up in Kigali. It's every time learning from the other who can do that. I think it also gives them the hope that they can also do that. And with every actions, every programs that Rwanda brings, make the girl in rural area, the woman who is not that that fortunate to know that they can do that. I think it's always about, like, the policies that are there, the conversation that are there, but also the examples that are there. If they are represented in anything, they can dream that. I remember in the beginning, I didn't have, like, when I didn't have that, like, those much examples, my first dream was, let's say, yes, I'll have Cosmobreds, but, you know, I'll be able to open a boutique, because my dream was just about that person I can see, until you get you get to see that other people can even make a big industry. That's when you start now dreaming on the level of industries. We can't dream what we can't see or what we can't imagine. So I think what Rwanda has done is to make sure that there are other examples where every girl can see and be like, actually, I can do this. By the journey they do to get there, when I dream that I can become another Martina, that's like in between, that's when I will meet someone who can even inspire me to know that actually you can even be this. So I think those examples in the inclusion about, like, not being like, this is only for boys, not for girls, and also working their talk, because I think the difference is that other countries, I have a friend who used to joke like they have good policies, but Rwanda is good at implementing their policies.
Yeah.
It's more of like, yes, we have good policies. Yes, our leaders have good talks, but do they work their talk? So I think what's good for the girls that we meet every time is that by the time you go, they feel like, yes, what they said is true. Another girl can do this.
Yeah, you said something very important. Representation really matters, especially for people to understand that a change is possible. They need to see that, and you being able to create a company that serves women and gives women opportunities and access to products that really can help them, can show another woman maybe in the rural area that they too can be able to come up with a company that can provide a solution to a problem that has been affecting their community. So representation is very important. Thank you for that. Back to you, Olivier. Looking at Rwanda today, especially as we celebrate Kwibohora 31, how has the ICT landscape evolved over the past years in your vision or opinion, and what role do you think the liberation played in making this growth possible?
Well, in terms of ICT, like in many other domains, Rwanda came very far. 31 years ago, if you see what is happening today in the ICT industry, we couldn't dream about it later on 21 years ago, but also 25 years ago. But thanks to our visionary leadership, yes, because it is the case. I remember when the government talked about, when they came up with this 2020 Vision 2020, a lot of things we're enjoying today were into that vision. They were incorporated in that vision. If today we're enjoying high internet with optic fiber in every corner of the country, it is because it was in that vision, it was in that plan from the beginning. Today, if you see the number of high learning institutions, universities, from technical schools, universities, those schools and the training entities that provide or train engineers and ICT experts. Nothing was there 30 years ago. I think we had, in Rwanda, we had the University of Rwanda and AUCA, the University of Adventist Church. And each would graduate a few dozens of students every year. And now, all combined, all the universities combined, now they can graduate thousands of software engineers or network engineers, you name it. When you look at the cloud computing, which is the way we are doing, like this capacity to deploy software systems, complex and heavy systems on the cloud without deploying servers on the premise. This is possible because we have data centers in the country. So all those infrastructure, this political will help to build the foundations to move from zero to where we are today. So I'd say that there's this visionary leadership plus implementation of the ideas, but most importantly, I think it is because of all thanks to politics or will to put at the center the good. If you are in position to lead a country and you are busy preparing genocide, you are busy teaching the genocide ideology like the previous system, they lost a lot of time in doing that. Every task, even bad one, needs a huge amount of preparation. So if you have the leadership that can put the good at the center of their action, this is what can happen. You can witness what you are witnessing today this tremendous development we made in the ICT sector, not only in the ICT sector, but in other sectors. And yeah, I think the liberation is definitely at the center of the progress that was made in the ICT industry.
Thank you very much for that. As we're nearing the end of the conversation, Blandine, as a young female entrepreneur, what message would you like to share to young women across the country, the continent even, who are dreaming of making an impact just like you? Because today's government, today's leadership has taught us that we can do all things if we put our minds to it, and if there's also provision of, let's say, infrastructure, access to opportunities, even that extra push that women need, because we were not always taught that we have these opportunities, or we were not always given these opportunities, but the government makes sure that they remind us that we have them. So what advice would you give a woman who is trying to follow in your footsteps, or even would like to start thinking of creating a solution to some of these problems that we face here in the country?
To every woman, the first thing, if there is a solution they want to bring, the first advice is to fall in love with the problem, because when you fall in love with the problem, even if the solution doesn't work, you pivot it. Any other solution can come, and you will stick to the problem. And another message to them is that their vision, their ideas, they count, they are valid, and they don't have to wait for all answers to start. They can start small, they can fail first, but by failing, they will be able to keep going. But in any case, to start and surround themselves with someone who believes in what they do and someone who has been there. Most of the time we've been like angry when like families were like, oh, you should go get a job. But they were giving us what they were bringing the message from the place of love. If they got a job, they think that you're safe with a job, you're not safe as an entrepreneur. So surround yourself with people who believe in what you do, but also people who have been there. They can give you the right advice if you seek them. And apart from that, making sure that you stick to your purpose, because that's what keeps pushing. And if it's about creating impact, when you're in love with the problem, even if you're not making money, you keep pushing till the time you'll be able to make money. Closing, I think, to every woman, whether Rwandan or in the whole continent, just like reminding yourself that Rwanda or Africa needs you today more than ever is one thing, and Rwanda needs your brilliance, Rwanda needs your courage, and we've seen a lot about a courageous woman, what she can achieve. So yeah, keep the courage and know that you need it today more than ever.
Thank you very much for that. And over to you, Olivier, as we conclude briefly on this occasion of Kwibohora 31, what gives you hope about Rwanda's digital future, especially seeing how far we've come and also the possible prospects of the future?
Well, that's an interesting one. When I see where we're going in terms of capacity, in terms of digital future, I see a brilliant future, and it's not theoretical. It we have reasons to believe that the future of our digital economy is brilliant. First of all, globally speaking, technology is leading everything from AI to databases to whatever. We are heading into an era where technology will be driving economic growth worldwide. Now, secondly, we in Rwanda, we have the tools, we have what it takes to take advantage of that huge opportunity, which is the fourth industrial revolution. We missed the previous industrial revolutions. But now this time around, we are starting almost at the same starting point as developed countries. But most importantly, we have people. Rwanda now, we have very young and dynamic population. For the fact of having 60% of our people being young people who are keen to learn new things, to take those new challenges, most of them women, thanks to the job which is done by people like Brandin, who help, who empower young women. So that means we have the necessary workforce with the necessary enthusiasm, supported by a strong political will to take advantage of this huge opportunity in terms of digital transformation. So all those factors combined make me feel like we are in a very good position to accelerate our 2050 agenda. Remember, which is to transform Rwanda into a high-income, knowledge-based economy.
Yes.
Yeah. So all those things will be possible thanks to digital transformation we are making in Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been such an insightful conversation, especially highlighting the areas of growth that our country has experienced since rising from the ashes 31 years ago. We, of course, would like to thank the government, the leadership, even RPA back then, who liberated this country and gave us a new hope that we did not ever see coming. So as we continue to celebrate Kwibohora 31, we are reminded that liberation was not just about ending oppression that this country experienced, but it was also about opening the door to possibility. And the stories that we've heard tonight, the different testimonies from empowering women with dignity to building a digital-first economy, this is proof that Rwanda's strength lies in its people and continued strength and resilience coming from them. So to our guests, Blandine and Olivier, thank you so much for taking the time to take part in this conversation. Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Invitation.
Yes, for insightful conversations that we've had, especially embodying self-resilience. And to our guests and to the people who have been viewing us tonight, we would like to wish you a happy liberation as we continue to move forward and strive for resilience and excellence. And this is possible. We have seen it in the past 31 years, and more is yet to come. So once again, I've been your host, Martina Avera, and until next time, stay safe, continue to take part in these insightful conversations, and see you next time.